Hey guys, welcome to lesson 3 and my last lesson with you. In this lesson today, I just want to extend our ideas of simple interest a little bit further and play around with identifying different parts of the equation. So just as a recap, remember that simple interest is just the principal times the interest rate times the number of periods, and that when it comes to interest rates and periods, they need to be in the same time frames. So what we're going to do is just to build on from last lesson, so we're just going to jump straight into some examples. So example 1 here. How many years does it take for $100 to earn $50 in interest if the simple interest rate is 10% per annum? Well, for me, one thing that strikes me straight away, the question says, how many years? Well, when we think about it, when it asks how many years, what part of I Prn deals with years? Well, n is the thing that dealt with time. So what we need to find, we've been asked to find, well, how much time did we invest this for? How much time did it sit in the bank account for? So let's go through. What is $100? Well, how many years does it take for $100 to earn $50? So $100 is our principal. It was what we put into the bank. And then asked, how many years does it take 100 to earn 50? How many to earn to generate the profit of $50? So 50 is our interest. What was the last thing we don't have? It's our 10% per annum. Our interest rate is 10% per annum. Now, we've got to make sure before we go through, is everything in years? Well, we can see years there, we can see years there, so we're all good to rock and roll. So let's just substitute everything that we know into the formula. So I equals PRN, so 50 is the interest, is equal to 100 times 10 over 100, because fractions are my friends, times n. That's where we're at the moment. Now, this $50, it's on the left-hand side of the equal sign. Let's just leave it alone for the moment. Let's look at the right-hand side. Now, out of the right-hand side, these values here, these two values here, they're numbers. I can evaluate them. So I'm going to simplify that. I'm going to ignore the n. I'm going to simplify that numbers. What is 100 times 10%? Well, 100 times 10% is going to be, well, 10. So we're now left with, when is 50 is equal to 10 times the number of years? And I'm guessing you guys can now start to see that n's going to be 5, because 5 tens are 50. But how do we mathematically show our working out? Well, we want to move the 10 across the other side of the equal sign. So what we need to do here is we need to divide, because if it's 10 times n, we want to do the opposite to move it. So we're going to divide by 10, and we're going to divide by 10. 50 divided by 10 was 5. 5 equals n. Therefore, 5 years. And there's our answer. It takes 5 years for $100 to generate $50 interest at 10% per annum. All right, guys, example 2. Slightly a little bit different, but still along the same lines. A loan of $3,200 has had $450 interest added to it. If the loan is repaid over 36 months, what is the monthly repayment? Now remember, in the last lesson I talked about that simple interest. It's the interest part is part of the profit. Here we have a loan. So this is a bank or a financial institution investing $3,200 into someone, and they're going to make $450 profit. Now, if I'm that someone, I need to pay back all of that $3,200 and all the $450. So together, if I add them, so the total that I have to repay back is $3,200 and the $450. So I need to pay back $3,600, $3,650 in total. That's how much I need to repay. But I'm repaying that over 36 months. How much do I need to pay back every single month to pay all that off? Well, we're just going to divide it by 36. So my monthly repayment is 3650 divided by 36. Grab your calculator out. Right, and that's going to equal $101.39 every month. I pay back $101.39, and after 36 months, 3 years, I have paid that back in total. All right, so example 3 here. If $950 earns $470.25 in interest in 9 years, what was the interest rate it was invested at? All right, so this is back more along those lines of that first example we did. So the first thing, I Prn. I Prn, what are they going to equal? Well, if $950 earned, so $950 is what I've invested. It earned $470. So that's the profit, that's the interest. It was invested for 9 years. Okay. What was the interest rate? So that's what we're trying to find. Now remember, what do I say about interest rates? I say that fractions are my friends. So I'm going to describe the interest rate as the interest rate is R, the rate, divided by 100. That's what I'm going to use. So now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute that into our formula. So remember, I is equal to Prn. So 470.25 is equal to 950 times R over 100 times 9. All right, let's simplify what we can. I can multiply 950 and 9. So we know that 470.25 is equal to, well, 950 times 9 is 8,550 times R over 100. Now, what we're going to do, eventually we need R by itself, and we're going to get there. R is trapped in the fraction. R is part of the fraction. 8,550, not part of my fraction, so it's the first thing I'm going to move on here. And remember, it's 8,550 multiplied. So I'm just going to divide 8,550 divide 8,550. Getting my calculator out. And when we evaluate that, we get that 470.25 divided by 8,550 is 0.055 equals R over 100. All right, if 0.055 is equal to R over 100, my interest rate, to figure that out, we're just going to multiply both sides by 100. That gets rid of that fraction. And what we end up with is 5.5%, because we made it we changed our decimal to a percentage by multiplying it by 100. Our interest rate here is 5.5%. Therefore, the rate is 5.5% per annum. All right, Year 9, your work for this lesson is exercise 2H. Those select questions there. If you're not sure on those examples, by all means, go back, watch them again. If not, there are 3 extra examples in the Canvas assignment. You can also go through and watch. That may help you explain those concepts. After you've done those questions, and if there is still time, have a go at those 10 quick questions. Remember, and as always, marking your work from the solutions. Fix any errors in your working out so that your answers reflect the correct solutions. Take a photo of all your work, upload it to Canvas by Friday, 8th of October at 3 o'clock. And guys, I will catch you later some stage. That's my last lesson.